Welcome back to the D&D 5th Edition debate, where the classes of 2014 and 2024 make their case on why they are the definitive edition. Good evening, I am the Dungeon Master, and please welcome our next classes to the stage, the Druids. Let's start off with your Druidic feature. With being so connected to nature and beasts, 2014, why didn't you also choose to have speak with animals always prepared?
Well, not everyone wants to yak to animals.
False. Moving on. 24, do you believe it's more important to focus on magic or in hand-to-hand combat?
Oh, well, that depends. Are we talking about barehanded combat or casting perfect spells?
Answer the question.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about wild shape. The 2014 and 2024 wild shape functions completely different from one another, so let's break this down bit by bit. 14, you can transform into any animal given it has the correct challenge rating. 24, how come you're only starting with players choosing from 4 animals per long rest?
Oh, you serious? It's utterly to help speed things up when wild shaping. The players know what they can turn into and have those stats in paw.
24, I think you might be over-exaggerating.
Well, why don't you hear me out and ask 2014 what they want to wild shape into?
2014, would you mind telling the audience what you would like to wild shape into?
Oh, positive. Just give me 1 second.
Take your time. Also, 24, you are able to transform into beasts that have swim speed right from the get-go. 14, why don't you give swim speed to players at the beginning?
Because.
Is that okay. In 2014, when you would wild shape, you would also take the hit points of the creature. But in 2024, you only gain temporary hit points when shaping. 24, care to explain?
Well, that's because we're not actually turning into the animal. We're taking the form of an animal. So it is a bit fishy to get a whole new set of hit points when we're still us. But it's unbelievably cool to have unlimited hit points at level 20.
Make it stop.
14, have you actually made it to level 20 yet?
Nay.
Also, on the subject of 14, why don't you have Wild Companion, Wild Resurgence, Elemental Fury, and being able to convert your wild shapes into spell slots?
Oh, because I'm guessing those are in subclasses from different branches of sourcebooks.
That's all in the 2024 base features.
Those are all rooted in your book?
Since 14 can't defend themselves here, let's move on to the subject of subclasses. Starting with Circle of the Land. 2014, why can't you change your circle spells with every long rest?
You can do that?
24, response.
Yes.
2014, can you also create a nature sphere that sucks the life from enemies and then heals allies?
You can also do that?
24, response.
Yes.
For Nature's Ward, is it better to not be charmed or frightened by elementals or fae, or gain resistance to damage that is associated with your land?
Well, can't we have both options to branch out?
No.
And damage resistance. Not being charmed.
2024. Your Nature's Sanctuary allows you to create a mobile nature cube that gives your party half cover. 2014, why does your Nature Sanctuary suck?
Okay, this debate seems a little lopsided here. Being able to avoid damage or have the enemy choose a new target is pretty tremendous.
Shut up.
You do realize that once you reach around level 14, a lot of rolls have an easier chance on rolling over 20, and your max DC save can only go to 19.
Yeah. And
what happens if a creature succeeds?
my level 14 feature becomes useless.
Hey, Dungeon Master, I don't need you fighting my debates for me.
But I'm glad you are, because this debate stuff is a walk in the woods.
Now let's move on to the Circle of the Moon. And yeah, these two subclasses are not the same besides the buffs to Wild Shape. So I'm just gonna ask both of you what Circle of the Moon does for you. 2024, would you like to start us off?
So with it being called the Circle of the Moon, we decided to have the theme be around the moon. So that's why we can deal radiant damage and teleport around.
In 2014, what about you?
Oh, there is no theme. We just leafed through a bunch of options and threw in a mishmash of things and until we got something.
And what did that give you?
Would you know it? Transforming into elementals. Yeah, I'm gonna really miss that. like multiple mouse.
Druids, any closing remarks?
Nope. I'm just happy that our only 2 subclasses in each of our books got some love.
2024, care to comment?
Yeah, do I want to mention that I have Circle of the Stars now and also an entirely new subclass called the Circle of the Sea? I hate it here.
We did too. Anyway, tune in next week as we take a look at the fighter. I've been your host, the Dungeon Master, and thank you for watching.
Oh wait, I want to wild shape into a mouse.